My name's Dave Dubeau, founder of MoneyPartnerFormula.com, and this show is built for everyday real estate investors who are actively doing deals and looking to scale using other people's money. So if you're an active real estate investor and you want to get featured on this show to talk about your own real estate and capital raising experiences, then just go to daveinterviewsyou.com. Now let's get rolling with this episode, and remember to subscribe for daily interview content. Hey gang, welcome back. Today, zooming in from beautiful Columbus, Missouri, we have a real estate entrepreneur in the true sense of the word, because Jesse Walters is a very active real estate investor, and he lives and breathes and eats and drinks real estate 24/7 pretty much, because he's also a very active realtor. So Jesse, welcome to the show. Great to have you.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
So we're recording this middle of the month, April 2025. What does life look like with real estate for Jesse Walters? What do you do? What do you focus on? What areas? What kind of properties? And then, how do you combine all of that together?
Yeah, it's a great question. So day to day, I am either managing the projects, the flips we're doing, and I also manage our rental portfolio as well. So I'm dealing with the tenants, leasing, maintenance, things like that as well.
So what does the rental portfolio look like? What kind of properties? How many units? That sort of thing.
Yeah, so we bought our first property in 2021, and up to today, we have 11 doors.
Nice. Who's
One
we?
of them,
Who's
I'm sorry.
we? Who is
Oh,
we?
my wife and I. Yeah, so
Oh,
we tag team this. So
yeah.
my I am on the investment side of things, and then my wife, she's the very active real estate agent. So we're both
Oh,
licensed, but she is the face of the agency side
got it.
of
Got it.
things.
Smart.
And yeah, she works a lot with clients and buying and selling homes, things like that. But yeah, so today we own 11 doors, one being a fourplex.
Mhm.
We have a couple duplexes, a few single family homes, and one condo we bought about 5 months ago. We turned into a midterm rental, and it's actually doing pretty well for us so far. So,
Nice, nice, nice. And this is all in and around Columbus?
correct. Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
So my hometown is Boonville, Missouri, a little town outside of Columbia, but it's where most of it is between, actually, well, 100% of it is between Boonville and Columbia.
Okay, very
Mhm.
good. Now, tell me a little bit about the flip side of your business. How many flips are you guys typically doing? Is that a main focus of your business, or just kind of a side thing?
Yeah, it's become a focal point,
Mhm.
especially this year. So in 2024, I completed 5 flips, sold them. This year, we're now in April. I've already done 5, so I'll probably
Nice.
have 10 to 15, I would say, by end of the year, if I had to guess. Um, but in that, I'm not a wholesaler, but I kind of run it like a wholesale business. You know, we do
Okay.
a lot of marketing, things like that. So I find off market properties, and I'm either keeping as a rental or I'm flipping it. One of the two. Once the property shows up on my desk, figure out what I'm going to do with it then. But
Or worst case scenario, you hand it off to the wife and she lists it.
yep, exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that is brilliant. Okay, so many things that I'd love to unpack with you, and remind me about the midterm rental if I forget to ask you about that, because that's cool. So marketing, give me an idea. You're in Columbia. What size of a town, what size of a market are you guys in?
Yeah. So Columbia is a college town. It's where University of Missouri is. It's a little over 100,000 people. And
Okay.
outside of that, it gets pretty rural. I mean, 2 hours east and 2 hours west is St. Louis and Kansas City. So we're right in the middle of two bigger cities, but in between, it's pretty much
Yeah.
farmland.
Crickets.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So, but the college aspect of it, it really keeps our town thriving and growing, and it's pretty robust economy. A lot of bigger companies in there too. Um, but yeah, it's served us very, very well. And my
Yeah.
hometown, just coincidence being 20, 30 minutes outside of Columbia, it actually has a really strong rental market as well. So mhm.
Cool. So for marketing, what you say you run it kind of like a wholesaler, so that means you're doing a ton of stuff to generate leads. What's working best for you in 2025? Because sounds like you've
Mhm.
doubled your volume pretty much
Yeah.
one year to the other. So what's happened?
hmm Yeah, so two things have kind of happened in the last 12 months for me. I've learned it's been pretty lucrative. One is mailers. So I've really doubled down on either letters or postcards. we're
Hmm.
sending quite a bit out. I've gotten 3 or 4 deals in the last 6 months just from mailers alone.
Nice.
So I agree that it's definitely a shotgun approach, and you get a lot of people calling that are not happy, but but you do
Well,
get
okay,
some.
so let's
Yeah.
zoom out on that for a second.
Mhm.
So when you say mailers, you do letters and you do postcards. Maybe give me the gist of a typical postcard. What is it? What do you have for a headline? What does it say? That sort of thing.
Yeah, it's actually very simple, short and sweet. It's like, hey, my name is Jesse. I'm a local real estate investor. I noticed your house. I would just love to learn more about it. If you're ever thinking about selling it, just please give me a call or text or send me a message via. I put my website on there as well. But
Okay,
mhm.
cool.
Yeah,
All
that's
right,
all
so
I
that's
really
the
say.
postcards. And then what about the letters? Are you doing anything tricky? You trying to make it look like it's handwritten, or are you just kind of sending out a corporate looking letter?
Yeah, and it is a handwritten letter. I'm not the one writing it though.
Okay,
So
yeah,
we use a company, Ballpoint Marketing.
nice.
So yeah, I mean, it's essentially a robotic arm that's writing these letters, and we just started that a few months ago, and it's worked pretty well. I'm in the first round that went out, I got one closed already,
Wow.
and we're going to keep that as a rental. It's a fairly new house built in 2012, like a 3-2 slab, very low maintenance home. It's just like paint, flooring, things
Yeah,
like that. And yeah,
lipstick.
that's it. Yeah, so I would buy those all day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. So,
Uh,
so just to give people, because there's I'm in the marketing business myself, so I get it. There's a lot
mhm,
involved with getting this set up. And once it's set up, it's pretty simple. But what are you doing for
mhm.
like volume of letters that you're sending out? What just kind of explain to me how that works, if you don't mind, Jesse.
Yeah, I'm tweaking it every month, so I'm kind of
Yeah.
learning as I go. But like right now, we're sending out about 3,000 mailers a month, between
Either,
letters and
either,
postcards. Yeah.
either a letter or postcard kind of thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay. And are you focusing on specific neighborhoods, or are you so are you blanketing certain areas, or are you cherry picking certain kinds of properties?
Yeah, so Columbia it's not a small town, but it's small enough where I
Yeah.
I just hit the entire city
That's
of
what I'm thinking.
Columbia.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's some areas I try to stay away from, but at the same time, like I can't exit, or cut out, like a street or anything
Yeah.
like that. So we're typically going by zip code, things like that. But that being said, if one of those properties comes across my plate, I still try to help them sit. I'm also licensed, so like I always play that realtor card too. So like
Yeah.
if I see, if they're trying to sell their home and like they're actually better off going on the market, I'm usually saying like we need to list this thing. I should not be buying this from you, and try to play that with them too.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
especially if they're trying to get top dollar for it. I mean, just
Right.
you can't
Hmm.
do it. Okay.
Hmm.
So you're doing about 3,000 a month. So how many houses are there in Columbia that you can mail to? So in other words, how long does it take you to get through the whole city, and how often do you
Hmm.
kind of repeat?
That's a great question. I haven't made it through the whole city
Okay.
yet, I
Yeah.
guess, but
Yeah.
yeah, I will say I keep narrowing my list down.
Mhm.
I've done enough flips now where I kind of learn what I like and what I don't like. So
Yeah.
I started cutting out older properties and started, like anything built prior to 1960, I think it is. I just kind of cut it out now. Because it's not that it's not a good deal and I wouldn't buy it. It's just if my marketing dollars, like I want it to go to something I really, really want.
Yeah.
And also like I'm going towards like multifamily or, single family homes I can flip. And I'm just trying to narrow it. I don't want the $1 million single family home either. So I'm cutting down on
Yeah.
prices and
Yeah.
things like that
Yeah. You
too.
don't want
So
the
yeah.
crappy
Mhm.
little one bedroom, half bathroom, weird looking thing somebody built post
Mhm.
war necessarily. And you don't want the super swanky ones. You want the ones that are easiest to fix up and sell.
Right. Yeah. So, and that's really been my focal point. Like, I haven't had the experience of running out of properties at least yet. And I think the good thing about Columbia, where we're at, is it's a high turnover town with a university.
Okay.
So we get
Yeah.
doctors and professors coming in, like they're there for a contract or something or a residency or something. So they're buying a home, they might sit on it for a few years and then sell it and move away. So there's a lot of turnover, and that keeps our town kind of really
Yeah.
active,
That's
regardless of what the economy is doing, things like that too. So.
so when you're doing your 3,000 letters a month, do you have it kind of set up as a sequence, or you just kind of send out 3,000, see what happens, send out 3,000 to the next neighborhood, see what happens? Is what does that kind of look like so far, Jesse?
Yeah, I take a list of 3,000 addresses and I send it to them once a month for 7 to 8, 9 months.
Okay,
So
good.
I hit them over and over again, and then
Yeah. So
once that
no
runs
wonder you
out,
haven't made it through the whole city because
right,
you're
yeah,
taking half a year to get through 3,000, which is smart. Like the
right.
repetition is huge. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. And so that's where we're really pushing it in there. And then after that sequence is up, I'll pull a new list, see if it's updated, or if I want to change my buy criteria around things like that, then I'll start it over again. But,
Cool. 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 It's been many years since I was kind of in the I buy houses business, but one of the things that worked really well for me back in the day was just vehicle signage, man. So
mm,
when I first started, I had a young family and I had a butt ugly minivan that I was driving around, and I deckled that sucker up with I buy houses fast or I buy houses cash, any condition, and the typical stuff, right?
mhm.
I can remember 3 deals I got just from the vehicle signage. So
Wow,
if you're not doing that, I would highly, highly, highly recommend it.
that's good to know. Yeah, I've it just crossed my mind, but I haven't taken any serious thought in it. So now you've kind of put that bug in my head. So I'm definitely gonna look into that now.
Unless you're driving a Porsche, then it's kind of tacky. But if you
Sure.
got like and it works better if it's not a very nice car.
Huh.
It's
All right.
counterintuitive, but if you drive up to somebody's house to make an offer on their property, I learned this years ago from Ron LeGrand, of anybody, of all people. He said, you drive a crappy car so they don't feel like you're a rich dude taking advantage of them, kind of thing, right? So,
Yeah.
yeah, not good for the realtor business because I know the realtor, you want to look successful and drive the
Sure.
Beamer or whatever and all that kind of stuff. But for the flipper business, for the I buy houses business, it might be worthwhile to go get an old, maybe you got a pickup truck or maybe you got a minivan or something like that, an old one, and just obnoxious is good. Like just it
Yeah.
should be kind of embarrassing looking. Your wife should never want to drive with you in that vehicle ever. And then
Perfect.
then
Yeah.
it's perfect.
Yeah, that's great. Well, I'm gonna go home tonight and tell my wife, like, hey, I need to buy this. I'm gonna show her something on Facebook. Like, I'm gonna buy this. It's for business, I promise. But,
Yeah. Well, actually, no,
yeah.
there's another one. Years later, I was slightly different business, but I had a bright goldenrod, orangey yellow FJ Cruiser. Very cool looking vehicle with the signage, and that popped really well as well. So it doesn't have to be a crappy car, but
Sure.
it
Yeah.
kind of it needs to stand out a bit. That's for sure.
I love it. That's
Yeah,
perfect.
man. Yeah. Cool. So I was going to ask you, so one of the properties you got is a mid-term rental. So tell us a little
Mhm.
bit about that and compare and contrast that because is that a condo? Is that the one that's a mid-term rental?
Yep. Mhm.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So maybe compare and contrast that versus a similar other property in your portfolio.
Yeah. So I kind of like this deal. So I kind of tell you how I got it too. It's very
Mhm.
counterintuitive. So this thing, it was on the MLS. It was a very unique thing. So like this one condo is one unit of a 36 unit complex.
Yeah.
The other 35 units are owned by one person. It's
Wow.
just this one unit. And
That's weird.
yeah, very, very weird. So typical traditional lender wouldn't lend on it because of their rules with rentals versus, yeah, I forgot what it is. But anyway,
Yeah.
if you can't go to a conventional loan and go buy this thing, so this thing just sat on the market for a good 2 months. I was just
Forever.
watching
Yeah.
it, yeah, and the price just dropped a little more, and stuff. And I finally went and viewed it, and it did not need much at all. I mean, really, all we did was clean and stage it, just for a furnished rental. But um, anyway, I got it 40 grand under asking. I bought it for
Wow.
$120,000.
Nice.
Um, I actually knew the guy who owned the other 35 units. I called him. I'm like, hey, first off, why didn't you buy this?
Yeah.
And two, I'm going to buy it. Do I need to work out some kind of like HOA with you? Because like you're mowing the yard and things like that. I'm like, what do you want to do here? And he was cool about it. He was like, dude, like you have this one unit. I own 35. Like I'm not going to charge you 1/36th of a mowing for this. He's like, don't worry about it. He's like, if
Why
yeah.
did he not want all 36 units? Why didn't you just grab that last one?
Yeah, I think it was because he bought the whole complex and he said I forgot he paid like 50 or 60 grand a unit for him. And this
Yeah.
one was at 150. He's just like,
Yeah.
it's not worth
There's no
it
way.
to
Yeah.
him. Yeah. So it was just one of those things that just it was not a valuable to him, but it was to me.
Yeah, for
So
sure.
yeah, we got this thing for 120. I have no HOA. We have an agreement to where, if a roof needs to be replaced or something big like that, that's a shared thing. I
Yeah,
just
you'll do
pitch in my percentage.
one thirty
Yeah,
sixth of it.
exactly. So that's all, like I don't have to mow the yard. I don't have to worry about snow
Nice.
removal, anything like that. It's all like taken care of. I don't have to pay for anything. So that was pretty cool. Um, so that being said, we got it furnished. The market was saying I could rent this thing for like 2 grand a month as a furnished rental. I paid 120 for it. I staged it, got all furnished for like 10 grand. So I'm 130 all in on a $2,000 a month rental. So I'm much higher than I would normally be on these rentals. And I figured worst case, if it flops, it doesn't work, I can just turn to a long term and be fine. You know,
Yeah.
I won't actually still be cash flow positive on a long term rental in the way the market is, but it's actually worked pretty well. We have it posted on Airbnb, VRBO, and then Furnish Finder, and between those three, actually, as of the other day, I've got this thing booked out the rest of 2025 at 2,000 a month.
What's the minimum rent
Mm.
time frame that you're looking for renters for that if it's
Uh,
midterm?
30 days, 30-day
Yeah,
minimum.
so 1 month
Hmm.
minimum. Yeah.
Yep.
And are most people renting it for 1 month, or are they kind of there for a while and they need it for 3, 4 months?
It's kind of random. I got one guy staying a month. I got another one staying for 4 months.
Hmm.
So it's just kind of, I'm learning it's kind of depending on their contracts. They're usually coming in for some kind of contract
Yeah.
work. And it's interesting. I'm learning a lot. I still don't quite have it grasped because like I'm trying to tweak it to where I have like random weeks where it's vacant,
Yeah.
because like someone will stay 30 days and it just sits and but someone books it 3 weeks later and I can't have a
Yeah.
3 week gap there. So I'm trying to work that short-term rental piece too, but it's not flowing very well. So I think I'm just gonna cut it and just keep it midterm all the time.
Yeah. The
But
short term
yeah,
is probably just a pain in the butt anyhow. Yeah. Then you have
yeah,
to
yeah,
figure out cleaning and all that kind of stuff on a much more regular basis.
for sure.
Interesting.
Mhm.
Interesting. Yeah. So for the midterm rental, well, it's kind of a new thing for you, but who's typically your tenant for those?
Yeah, I've got a traveling nurse is one, and we're really marketing heavily on that side of things. I have one guy, he was a contract employee for a construction company in town. They had a big project and he was coming in for like 3 months
Yeah.
to do the job and get out. Um, One guy, his daughter goes to college there and he's just coming in for a month just to hang out and do those
That's
things.
nice.
But
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh, that's awesome. It's so convenient. It really is. It's a win-win there.
yeah,
Very, very cool. So what are the goals and aspirations for the next 12 to 18 months, Jesse?
it's a great question. So I really marketing hard. So whether that's rentals or flips, it's just kind of whatever that is. Like I'm just trying to get as many properties on my desk as I can just to analyze and things like that. Where I have a really good lender that he will, as long as I bring the down payment, he will lend me the rest of the money for that and the renovation costs.
Nice.
So I think I've got a lot of momentum here and I can really push this thing. So um, it's, yeah, I guess that's it. I would love to flip everything I can, just for the cash side of things, but we need to hold a few rentals, along the way just
Oh
for
yeah,
tax
man.
purposes.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Hold on to those rentals because
yeah,
that's what creates that passive income and all that good
definitely.
stuff down the road.
Mhm.
Awesome, Jesse. If people want to connect with you and find out more about what you're up to, where should they go?
Yeah. So on our website, like on the real estate agency side, it's waltersteamrealty.com. And then also just me personally, I'm not super active on social media, but I'm getting better at it. Talk about my projects and things like that. It's jesse.v as in Victor .walters on Instagram.
Perfect. Jesse, thanks for being on the show. It's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate you having me.
All right, everybody, take care, and we will see you on the next one. Hey there, I really hope you enjoyed that episode. And as always, if you want to listen to more daily interview content, make sure you subscribe. And if you're an active real estate investor and you're doing deals and you'd like to get featured on this show, then just head over to daveinterviewsyou.com.